Be strong, Michael. Sam is safe. Go to her. Be strong, echoes Hoto's voice. It is the next day. Back at the commune elder's hut, Michael is led asleep, sweating. Eric is sat next to him, sponging his head. The sound of vehicles can be heard outside. Curtis opens the door and enters the room. "How is he?" Curtis says to Eric. "He's calmed down a lot now, still sweating a bit, but not yelling so much," says Eric. "Well, we had best get him on the truck. The others have already left. We have to get going," replies Curtis. "Okay, give me a minute. I'll wake him," says Eric. Curtis nods his head and leaves the room. Eric puts his hand on Michael's shoulder and nudges him. Michael, wake up. Come on, boy," he says. Michael begins to groan and murmur. Huh? Hoto? No! Sam! Desert!" "Wake up. Come on, Michael. It's okay," Eric gently says to him. Michael wakes up with a jolt. His body is tense, his eyes wide open. He grips hold of the medallion on his neck and onto Eric's arm. Michael sits up quickly. An army is coming! They're going to destroy the city!" Michael blurts out, gasping for breath, then lies back down. "Calm down, Michael, calm down," Eric says as he puts his hand on Michael's shoulder. Michael turns to his head and faces Eric while still clutching the medallion, and quickly says, "Where is Tara? I got to see Tara. Sam is safe. She's in the desert. Hoto told me I got to find Tara." Eric calmly says, "Michael, look, calm down. You've had a bad night, and we have to leave the city now." Michael sits up and shakes his head and says sternly, "Tara, where is she?" Eric, still holding onto Michael's shoulder, gently shakes him and says, "It's too late, Michael. She has decided to go and defend the city. We have to leave." Michael leaps up, brushes Eric off, and runs for the door. "Michael, no, come back!" shouts Eric. Michael bursts out of the elder's hut and runs through the commune. It looks deserted, and a few remaining commune folk are loading items onto vehicles and trailers. The commune folk are evacuating the city. "Michael, stop!" shouts Eric. Eric is chasing Michael as he leaves the commune through the roadblock that is now moved to the side of the road. He continues to make his way down the alley and across a wide road, Eric still giving chase. Michael gets to an alleyway and can see some men entering a building. Before the door closes behind the men, Michael darts in to hide from Eric. Michael catches his breath, looks around the room. It is very busy, with men and women drinking, people playing darts, and others sat down, either lounging or playing cards. Then someone to Michael's side calls out to him. "Yo, Michael, you're becoming a bit of a regular around these parts. What are you doing here?" It's Darren. He is sat down with some others playing cards. Michael makes his way over to Darren. He leans on the table. "Jesus, what's wrong with you? You look rough, man," says Darren. Michael, leaning forward, catching his breath, says to Darren, "Tara, have you seen her?" "Jesus, man, you two have to stop chilling together. She's been worrying me lately," says Darren, as he throws down his cards and leans back in his chair and looks up at Michael. "Look, I'm in a rush. Where is she?" says Michael hastily. "Chill, man, jeez," says Darren. The gunroom playing cards with Darren answers Michael. "She's on top of the fighting hall," says the gunroom, still holding his cards but looking at Michael with a sign of disapproval. Darren then picks his cards back up. "Yeah, that's right. You know where it is, don't you?" says Darren. "Yeah," Michael replies. He removes his hands from the table and stands up. "It's your people's fault she's up there, babbling on about the city being raided by an army. She's up there keeping a blinking eye out," says the gunroom. Darren leans back on his chair again, looking at his cards, and says, "As I said, she's been spending too much time in that commune of yours lately. She's been losing it, man, I tell you." Michael turns away and makes his way towards the door. He leaves the building and looks down both ends of the alley. He begins to run down the alley towards the road, and then Eric appears around the corner ahead of him. Michael quickly turns to his right and runs. Suddenly, a loud whining noise can be heard. Michael stops in his tracks and looks up and around. Eric catches up with him. "Michael, for God's sake," Eric says as he catches his breath. "Eric, that noise, the air raid siren, the army," exclaims Michael. Suddenly, a door from a building swings open in front of the duo. "They're coming! They're coming!" a man yells. People bustle past Michael and Eric, separating them. Eric grabs hold of a man and asks him what's wrong as the siren whirs on. "Tell me what's wrong! The man looks up at Eric's tattoo on his forehead and replies, "You should blimmin' well know. Your people tried to warn us," says the man, who then shakes himself free of Eric and runs off. Eric shakes his head and turns to face Michael, saying, "Michael, we must..." Michael is gone. Eric looks to the end of the alleyway and sees Michael running out onto the road amongst a group of people. "Michael!" shouts Eric. Eric chases after him again. Michael is running down the road and heading towards the fighting hall. People are fleeing buildings and panic is beginning to consume the streets. Michael gets to the fighting hall and enters a stairway and begins to climb the stairs. Meanwhile, on the fighting hall roof, Tara is peering through binoculars, stood alongside 3 other gunrooms. "God damn it! What on earth?" "No, no, no," says Tara. Tara passes the binoculars to a man, then talks through a walkie-talkie. "This is watch point 1. Can you see anything your way, Janet? Over." A female voice comes from the walkie-talkie. "Oh my god, Tara, this is crazy. There is some huge machine making its way west of the city. Oh my god." Then a male voice comes out of the walkie-talkie. "This is Bill here, at watch point 3. I can verify 2 other gigantic vehicles approaching the city at different points. Tara, can you see them? Over." Tara takes back the binoculars and stares through them out to the desert. She can see a ginormous wheeled truck making its way towards the city, pulling 2 gigantic trailers through the desert. The vehicles and the trailers look more like mobile buildings than vehicles, with windows and balconies and towers all over them. The gigantic trailers have tank tracks powering them, although most of the work is done by the huge wheeled vehicles pulling them. On each side of the front of these huge machines are 2 large double-barreled tanks escorting them. Tara drops the binoculars and speaks through the walkie-talkie again. Michael then bursts out of a doorway onto the roof. Tara turns around and looks at him and continues to talk through the walkie-talkie. "Right, all posts, take note. There seem to be 3 of these huge machines advancing towards the city at 3 various points. The only clear exit out of the city seems to be the highway towards the mountains. Everyone get the hell out of here, and good luck." Tara turns to Michael and hugs him. The other gunrooms pick up their belongings and head towards the door. Then Eric bursts through it. Eric stops on the spot, and everyone trades stares. Eric looks at Michael and Tara and sighs, then says to Michael, "Right, you found her. Now can we leave?" Michael and the others jog to the door, and they all begin to run down the stairs. Once they get to the bottom of the building, and outside, panic has consumed the city. People running in all directions, vehicles tearing down the streets, people chucking their belongings out of windows for others to catch in the street to collect. "Damn, we'll never make it out of the city at this rate," says a male gunroom. Tara looks around anxiously, then says, "The subway, come on." The group begin to sprint down the street towards the subway entrance. They dodge and dart their way past fleeing and panicking people as they near the subway. 2 rockets fly over their heads, exploding far ahead of them. The group stop in their tracks and watch in dread as a building topples as it is hit by the rockets. A male gunroom shouts, "Come on!" A rocket blows up far behind them, blowing up the streets, sending people flying. The group all make their way towards the subway entrance, but as they do, a rocket explodes overhead, sending rubble crashing down towards the group as they dive down the subway steps.